Today, we will be discussing a touchy subject. Some might even consider it controversial, but it is a condition that affects us all. The clinical term is NeurotiFemPathosis. The affliction is more commonly known as crazy bitch syndrome, or simply CBS. It is a genetically transmitted trait of all humans, expressed almost universally by females. The gene that represents this condition is carried on the X chromosome, and the presence of the Y chromosome usually inhibits the expression. However, there have been rare, yet ever-growing instances of the gene becoming active in some males known as soy boys. We will be focusing on the female expression of CBS today. Before modern research, many used to believe that crazy bitch syndrome was a condition tied to the female's menstruation cycle. We have learned, however, that though CBS is understandably more pronounced during that period, it is always actively present as part of the female experience. The intensity of the affliction varies from woman to woman, and in some cases, it is virtually undetectable. Researchers have determined that even among those females who appear not affected by CBS, there are verbal and visual cues that will trigger crazy bitch syndrome. One such trigger is the phrase, "Make me a sandwich," even if that phrase is accompanied by the words, "Will you please?" It can still trigger an episode of CBS. Another triggering phrase to be aware of is, "You almost went off the road." In some cases, it is actually less harmful if she did drive off the road. One of the most dangerous things to say around someone with an extreme case of crazy bitch syndrome is any combination of words expressing the attractiveness of her sister. Visual cues that are linked to outbursts of CBS have been observed and experienced by men and boys throughout the ages. Simply looking at pretty women, even with no malintent, is almost assured to bring on a case of crazy bitch syndrome, especially if it is done in front of the woman you are with. Another visual trigger would be seeing the toilet seat left up. Any man or boy who has lived with any female under any circumstance has noticed this effect. Scientists have also determined men should be aware of various traps set by women with CBS. One particular trap, which seems to be the most common, is when a woman asks if a piece of clothing makes her look fat. It's a trap! There are many wrong answers that will trigger crazy bitch syndrome, especially if the answer is honest. Caution is advised. As CBS is a genetic expression, there is no cure, but researchers have discovered some effective treatments. The efficacy of these treatments varies from person to person, but the knowledge and use can reduce the intensity of an episode of crazy bitch syndrome. Chocolate seems to be mysteriously effective in many cases. If you have a woman in your life, it is probably a good idea to have some on hand at all times. Be complimentary, but only to females with whom you are familiar. Paying a compliment to a stranger is extremely risky and could actually trigger a case of CBS. Try to not be an asshole. This is a skill that can be developed over time and will prove to be most valuable. Always remember, when you're dealing with someone with crazy bitch syndrome, you're not playing checkers, you're playing chess. This public service announcement is brought to you by the folks at Fun with Eric. Thanks for dropping by, and be sure to like the video and share it with all your friends. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and feel free to leave a comment. I know you want to say something. There will be more Fun with Eric. Now go have a great day. Forward we go.
Please remember to consume Fun with Eric responsibly. This video was produced and presented for fun and satire, and in no way was meant to harm those afflicted by crazy bitch syndrome. To the women in my life, please do not come after me with torches and pitchforks, or try to poison me, or try to kill me in my sleep, or any other vengeful acts or ideas brought on by an acute episode of crazy bitch syndrome.